Boy, every school day, I'm showing up. Every school day, being present when I'm jumping is the new thing. I'm showing up. Every school day, being present when I'm jumping is the new thing.
Good morning, Rattlers. Today is Monday, February 26th, 2018. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. We have 3 birthdays today.
It's your birthday. It's my birthday too, yeah. It's your birthday. We're gonna have a good time. I'm glad it's your birthday. Happy birthday to ya.
Happy birthday. Today, our announcements. How can we be kind to each other? Last week, myself, Mr. Hawk, Ms. Trevino, Ms. Sosa, and Mr. Thomas were really discussing some of the things that we were seeing around campus, and we noticed that we needed to make sure that we're being kind to each other, be it in recess, at lunchtime, in class, to teachers, especially to substitutes, that we're being really mindful of how we interact with each other, and we only use the golden rule, which is to treat others how we want to be treated. So let's work on how to be kind to each other and how to use words that are going to help, not hurt. Review and recess and lunch expectations. When you go to lunch today, you will find that there will be at least one administrator for the rest of this week so that we can make sure that when you come in, there's no need for anyone to have silent lunch because we're meeting the expectations of the lunchroom. And last but not least, it's Dr. Seuss week. This is the week of Dr. Seuss's birthday, and we're going to celebrate today by wearing crazy socks. Tomorrow, bring your favorite book and a blanket. Shout out for Education Galaxy. We have some scholars that have been using Education Galaxy over the weekend. It is very important that you utilize that program so that you are able to make your goals on the star. Ruby used it for 41 questions. She was on it for over half an hour. We also had Luis, who did a really great job in using Education Galaxy this weekend as well. Emotions Monday. Teachers take it from here. Let's have an open discussion about what we think bullying means and what are some ways that we can find ourselves if we bully others that we can fix it.
Today I'll be reading to you The Juice Box Bully, Empowering Kids to Stand Up to Others by Bob Sorensen and Maria Desmonte. Enjoy the story. As Pete stood in front of his class, Mr. Petzer announced, "Let's welcome Pete to our team. Pete, you will be sitting behind Ralph." Settling in his seat, Pete pulled his hat down over his head so that only his eyes could be seen. Turning around, Ralph warned him, "They don't allow hats in here." "You're not my mother," snarled Pete. After giving an assignment, Mr. Peltzer walked around the class and quietly asked Pete to remove his hat. Once he walked away, Pete poked Ralph. "Thanks a lot," he growled. Later that day at recess, Pete didn't ask to join the soccer game. Instead, he watched. "Hi, Pete," Ralph said. "Do you want to get into the game?" "Not with those nerds," Peter replied. "I don't like those kids." "What do you want to do?" asked Ralph. Peter smiled spitefully. "Let's steal the ball. We're bigger than them. We could have our own game." "I don't think so," answered Ralph. "That's not how we do things around here." "Then I'll do it myself," taunted Pete. "If you're so afraid." Pete ran over to the field and yelled, "Pass it to me!" When David passed the soccer ball, Peter grabbed it and ran off the field. "What's going on?" David said. Peter didn't reply. He ran faster and faster. Then he turned and waved the ball in the air. At first the kids just stood there. Then they huddled together. Before they walked over to Pete, Ruby and Lucy led the way. "I know you're new around here, but what are you doing?" asked Ruby. "I'm playing with the soccer ball," Peter snapped. "Think you're going to take it away from me?" Ruby didn't answer, nor did she threaten Pete. Instead, she said softly, but firmly, "It's the first day here, so there's no way you could know this. In Mr. Peltzer's class, we made a promise. We promised to take care of ourselves, each other, and our classroom, and to solve problems peacefully. We promised that in this classroom no one would stand by and accept bad behavior. When someone got hurt, we all speak up. We want you to be a member of this class and to make the same promise." "Damn rules, damn promises." Throwing the ball to the ground, Pete walked away. The next day, Pete ate alone. When he finished his lunch, the kids raced out of the lunchroom while Pete trailed behind. Ruby ran up to Pete and asked, "Do you want to play soccer today?" "I don't want to play with nerds." "Okie dokie," Ruby replied. "Hey, Ruby," Pete called after her. Ruby stopped and turned. "Nice shirt," Pete complimented. Then he squirted his juice box right at her. "You're so mean," she shrieked at him. "I'll tell everyone how mean you are. You won't have any friends here." By now, Ralph, David, and some others had come up to her. "Ruby, I won't let you do that," Ralph said clearly. "Remember our promise?" "I don't want to remember the promise. Look what he did. We'll ignore him forever until he leaves the school and goes back to his old school," Ruby demanded. Ralph walked between Ruby and Pete. "We're not going to do this, Ruby. I know you're angry. You can tell Mr. Peltzer if you want, but we're not going to let you treat Pete like this, and we won't put up with this bad behavior either." Ruby stomped away, leaving Pete and Ralph behind. "No one ever done that before," Pete said. "Why did you stand up for me? I've been in your shoes and learned being a bully doesn't work." "And I'm not a bystander," Ralph said. "I don't stand by and let mean things happen. Besides, Ruby's my friend, and you shouldn't have ruined her shirt." "Won't the other kids be mad at you for sticking up for me?" Pete asked. "No way. They all made the same promise. We talked about it for a long time with Mr. Peltzer, and every kid here tries to keep that promise." "At my old school, I got picked on all the time," Pete says. "Everybody just let it happen, so I started to tease kids before they could be mean to me." Ralph replied, "We decided that when someone tries to be a bully, no one will stand by and let it happen. We speak up, or we ask for help from an adult, but we won't be a bystander to bad behavior." The bell rang, and it was time to go back to class. "They hate me. They'll never let me play with them," Pete said. Before Ralph could answer, David, Lucy, and Ruby came towards them. "I'm sorry about what I said," Ruby apologized. "I can't believe I forgot the reason why we made that promise. If we can remember to stand up for each other, school is a lot more fun." "Wow, the kids here are very different than at my old school," Pete says. "Maybe I'll give this promise thing a try." "Great! Let's go to talk to Mr. Peltzer," said Ruby. "Hey, Ruby, sorry about your shirt," Pete added. Ruby smiled. "No worries. I kind of like the new look." Everyone laughed as Pete and Ruby led the way into the classroom. That promise. I will speak up instead of acting as a bystander. I choose to participate in activities that don't involve teasing. I forgive others if they make poor choices. I model good behavior. I accept others for their differences. I include others in group situations. I will talk to an adult when there's a problem I cannot manage on my own. I am powerful, making a difference in my school. By making the promise to stand up against bad behavior, we can put an end to bullying. Stand up.
Teachers, what are some things that you saw in the book that can help stop bullying? Let's ask our students today. Remember, rattlers are respectful, responsible, and relentless. #fear the venom. Have a great Monday, rattlers.